Hello everyone, welcome back to the Late at Night. Usually on this channel we are watching the night sky, but for next 2 weeks we are going to focus on something that is happening during the daylight. Actually, no. We are going to watch the daylight disappearing for just 2 minutes. Now, we are less than 2 weeks away from the most exciting astronomical event that Europe has seen for years, the total solar eclipse that is happening on the 12th of August 2026. And honestly, I've been waiting for this for years. Whether you are already planning to go to the totality path, or you are staying here in UK, or you just heard someone talking about that and you're thinking, what all the fuss is about? Well, you are in the right place. In this video, and possibly few shorts and Instagram posts, I'm going to explain nicely and easy what you can expect so you are ready by the eclipse day come. So if you are interested, grab the drink, get comfy, and let's see how the moon is going to steal the spotlight from the sun. Right then, let's start with the basics. What actually is a solar eclipse? Well, despite looking absolutely incredible, it is actually much more simple than you might think. A solar eclipse happens when the sun, the moon, and the earth lines up in a perfect line. The moon moves between us and the sun, and the shadow is projected onto the earth. So anyone that is standing in that shadow will experience a solar eclipse. Now you might think, hang on, doesn't that happen every new moon? And that's actually a very good question. The simple answer is no. Even though that every solar eclipse happens during the new moon, that doesn't mean that every new moon will get a solar eclipse. This is because the moon's orbit around the Earth is slightly tilted by around 5 degrees. So most of the times, the moon is passing slightly above or below the sun from our point of view, and the shadow is missing the Earth. And only when everything lines up perfectly, the solar eclipse happens to someone on Earth. And here is my favorite astronomy fact. The sun is around 400 times wider than the moon. And somehow it's also 400 times further away. Somehow, those numbers match almost perfectly. And that's why on Earth we can experience something what is called a solar eclipse. So imagine that, if the moon was slightly smaller or slightly further away, we would never get a total solar eclipse. Pretty amazing, isn't it? So, now we know how the solar eclipse happens. Let's have a look what different types of solar eclipse we can actually get. The first one is a partial solar eclipse. And just as the name suggests, only part of the sun is covered by the moon. The more the sun gets covered, the more changes you will start noticing around you. But well, let's hold it, we'll talk about that in a bit. Actually, every solar eclipse starts with the partial eclipse. The second type of the solar eclipse, and the one that is happening in Spain, is the total solar eclipse. This happens when everything lines up almost perfectly and the moon completely covers the bright face of the sun. Hang on, does that mean that everyone on Earth will experience the total solar eclipse at the same time? Sorry to say, but no. Only people in a very narrow path across the Earth will be able to experience the total solar eclipse. People in a shadow, but outside of that totality, will see the partial solar eclipse. And everyone outside the shadow will see the sun as normal, so they will not experience the solar eclipse. Next comes the annular solar eclipse. And this one is really interesting. The moon lines up perfectly with the Earth and the sun, but this time, moon is a little bit too far away from Earth. Because of that, it appears tiny smaller in our sky. So instead of have the whole sun covered, we have the ring of fire. And there is one more type of solar eclipse, the rarest one, the hybrid solar eclipse. And that one is a weird one, because in some places it will appear as an annular solar eclipse, while in other parts of Earth it will appear as a total solar eclipse. How this happening? Well, because in different points the distance between Sun and Moon can change, and the change might be big enough to produce both types of solar eclipse. So now that we know how solar eclipse works, let's have a look what we can actually expect in less than 2 weeks. So on the 12th of August we are going to experience another solar eclipse in Europe, but this one is going to be special because it's a total solar eclipse. And as we already know, unfortunately the total solar eclipse will appear only in a small path. This time the path begins in Russia, travels across Greenland, a small part of Iceland and Portugal, and then reaches Spain just before the sunset. Outside of that path, millions of people will experience a partial solar eclipse. This includes most of the Europe, including UK, Northwest Africa and also Canada. In the UK and Ireland, depending where you are, around 90 to 97% of the sun will be covered. Now, some people might say, well, it's only a partial eclipse. Honestly, I don't agree. When that much of sun disappears, you will definitely notice it. The daylight changes and the whole atmosphere around you start to feel different. But let's imagine we are standing together somewhere in the totality path. The eclipse starts. At first, you probably won't notice much. Put your eclipse glasses on and you will see Moon taking a tiny bite out of the sun. Minute by minute, the sun slowly turns into a thinner crescent. Around us, everything still looks fairly normal, until you start paying attention. Small gaps between the leaves on the trees suddenly become hundreds of tiny pinhole cameras. Instead of little circles of light, you will start noticing a tiny crescent suns in the shadows on the ground. As more of the sun disappears, the light becomes softer. It starts looking different. Temperatures begins to drop and animals start behaving as it is evening. Then the last rays of sun squeeze through the valleys around the edge of the moon. For a few seconds they break into the bright bits. These are Bailey's beads. One final burst of the sunlight, the diamond ring, and then it's gone. The bright surface of the sun completely disappears. For the first time, the solar corona becomes visible around the moon. If we are lucky, we might be able to see bright pink prominences around the edge of the sun. And look around you for a second. The brightest planets and stars will begin to appear on the sky. No matter where you look, the horizon will look as a twilight. For just over a minute and a half, daytime turns into something much closer to night. Then, before you manage to see all of those things, the first bright point of sunlight appears again. Everything slowly turns back to normal. But I can almost guarantee, you will never forget those few minutes. Now, I know I have covered quite a lot already. Dates, locations, eclipse types, there's a lot to remember. And that's exactly why, together with Zora, we have prepared something that I think will make planning your eclipse much easier. We have created the Eclipse Spain website. You can choose your observing location and see all the important information in one place. Things like the eclipse timings, how much of the sun will be covered, how long the totality will last, and much more. We have added a countdown to the eclipse, observation hints, link to the eclipse livestream, and one of my favorite little features, your own personalized eclipse boarding pass. You can generate one for your location and share it with your friends on the social media. If you had a look at the website, I would love to hear in the comments what do you think, and if there is something you would like us to add before the eclipse, let us know. Now, did I just said live stream? Yeah, I will be traveling to the Spain with all my equipment, and if everything will go to the plan, we will be live streaming the eclipse from the middle of the totality path. We'll have the close-ups view from the telescopes, the live commentary, possibly some interviews and the countdown to the totality, and hopefully a chance to capture how the world is changing around us through the wide-angle lens. And I have said about interviews, so I am hoping to speak to the people around me to discuss their experience and how they are enjoying the total eclipse. So if you are staying away from the totality path, and whether you are watching from home or getting ready to head out yourself, hopefully you will be able to experience a little bit of the atmosphere with us. I really can't wait for this eclipse, and hopefully some of you will experience it with me, whether that's from Spain, here in UK, or during the live stream. Thank you so much for watching, clear skies, and see you later!